Okay, basically I have a set problem. I have 110 college students, and this identifies how the breakdown of 110 students is in terms of courses they take. 25 took physics, 45 biology, 78 math. Now, 10 students took physics and math, 8 students took biology and math, 6 students took physics and biology, and 5 students took all three. So we have to identify, our problem is to identify how many students of those 110 students were not enrolled in any of those courses. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start out and we're going to make a Venn diagram. Oops, and of course I apologize. It would be so close that you can't see it. Okay? Now, in our Venn diagram, I've got 3 subjects. We've got physics, biology, and math. So we're going to draw 3 circles that overlap. Okay? One represents physics, one represents bio, and one represents math. And then U is the universal set, which has 110 students actually in the set. Alright, now let's go through and identify what's what. So I'm going to zoom back in now that we have this drawn. Let's zoom in just a little bit so we can see what's what. Alright, so we're going to start out with what's in all 3, and that's what's going to go here in the center, because this little blob right here represents all the students that are both in biology, in physics, and in math, because they overlap with all 3 circles. And that number of students is 5. Okay, then we're going to work backwards. We're going to look at the student number that are taking 2 subjects. So we have 6 students that are taking physics and biology. So physics and biology overlap would be right here. Now 6 students total, but we've already used 5 of them, so we only have 1 more, because 5 plus 1 is 6, and that's what shows physics and biology, even though those 5 are also taking math. Alright, the next one that we have is biology and math, and it says there are 8 of those, but we've used 5 up because, see, these 5 are also in this overlap. So 8 minus 5 is 3, so there are just 3 students that are in biology and math, but not in physics. Then, so when I look at that whole slice, I do have my 8 biology and math. Then physics and math is 10 students, and I've used 5, so that leaves 5 more to go in this slice. Now, I need to identify the number of students who are in math. So we have a total of 48 students in math. So I'm going to write this number down here, but we're not finished, because I've already used some of those students. I used 3, 5, and 5 in these slices up here. So when I add these together, I get 5 and 5 is 10 and 3 is 13. So 48 minus 13 gives us 35. So that gives me 35, and I'm going to circle this because that tells me there are 35 students who are just taking math. Now, let's go back again. We have 48 total that are taking math. So let's see, do all those equal 48? 35 plus 10 is 45, plus 3 is 48. So yes, they do. All right, now we have 45 taking biology. So we start out with our 45 total, but we've already used up the ones that are here. So I've used up 5 plus 1 plus 3. And when I add those together, 5 plus 3 is 8 and 1 is 9. So 45 minus 9 is 36. Okay, so now let's check and see. I have 36 here. Let's see, in terms of biology, I had 45. So 36 plus 5 is 41, 42, and then 3 more is 45. So that's correct. Now, in physics, I have 25. But I've already used 5 plus 5 plus 1. So I'm going to subtract that. So 5 plus 5 is 10 and 1's 11. 25 minus 11 is 14. So just 14 students only took physics. All right, now our question is, how many didn't take anything? So what we have to do is we have to total, and I'm going to do this right here where I think you can see it better if I just write it down here. I have to total all the students up who are enrolled in courses. So I have 36 here. I have 3, let's see, let's go ahead and do the ones that are just in one subject. Excuse me, 36, I have 14 here, and I have 35 here. Now let's look at the overlap in the center. I have 5, 5, 3, and 1. Now, if I do a sum of all those, I have 99. So I have 99 students who are enrolled in courses in these kinds of courses. If I had 110 students to begin with and 99 are enrolled, then when I subtract, I get 11. So I have 11 students that are not enrolled in any of those courses. Okay? So I hope that makes sense, because this is how you would do anything. Like maybe you might have a question about people watching ABC, NBC, and CBS, and some watch one, some watch the other, some watch 2 channels, some watch all 3. So anytime you have an assortment like that, you can do it the very same way. Now, you might have an overlap of 4 things. If you do, it's going to be more crunched up, and you'll just have another ring in the middle, and that's fine still. Okay, we are finished with our set problem.